We'll put a disclaimer up on that. And I just can't harp on it enough. My kids hate me because I harp on it so much. It's just because I know what it's like, you know, to, you don't want to go down to, not that there's anything wrong with the people that own the tote the note lots and, finance here, because that's the way they make their living. But at the same time, I guarantee you a 7% interest rate that you can possibly find for them versus a 30% interest rate is an exorbitant amount of money on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis. When you think
it's unbelievable what it does to your payment. I mean,
oh God, it could triple it. You could go from a $200 a month car payment to a $600 car payment just because you didn't do the things that you needed to do to
it just goes back to what your mom said. I love what your mom said, Cledus. I mean, it's such the truth, and I think sometimes people forget, a contract is just a written promise, right? Yeah. I am promising that I am going to make these payments to you. That's what it is.
Right.
And people that live up to those promises, they get better credit scores and lower interest rates and better payments.
It's just, I think it's probably, and this just from an old man that's had it before, lost it before, and got it back again. I just think it's the most important thing in the whole process of going through life is when somebody thinks enough of you to give you something, no matter what it is. If they let you borrow the lawnmower, give them the lawnmower back. If you tear the lawnmower up, fix the lawnmower and give it back, because a man's only as good as his word. And when I first came here in 2012 and I started banking with City National, and I told them, I said, hey, I'm going to borrow money and I'm going to buy the most dilapidated, rundown houses that you can imagine. Trust me. And they did. And I ended up, I think I bought 16 or 17 since I've lived here. But if I'd have bought that first house and hung them with it, same as a car, I'd be renting property right now instead of buying it. Sure. So this gentleman right here can hook you up.
Trent, why don't you, without naming specific banks, tell us a little bit about shopping for the best interest rate for the
I'm curious to know how that works as well. How do you do that?
Yeah, so when I pull somebody's credit, I do like the lending tree effect. I pick, I look at your credit profile and your past, what lender that you used in the past. I may send it to 3 or 4 lenders and let them compete, for the best interest rate.
And it can depend on the vehicle as well, and how much equity they have going in the deal, what kind of vehicle they're on, whether it's new or used, how many miles, how long the term they want.
Right.
You can go up to, back when I was younger, 36, 48 was just a god-awful long time. Nowadays, heck, you can go 72, 84.
84. There's some banks doing 96. We don't use.
Make sure
one of those
you
lenders,
love the car at 96. Just letting you know, just love the vehicle at 96.
Well, one of the reasons why they're able to do that is because these cars last so much longer.
Yeah, they're built a little different now.
Oh my gosh! 8 years for a new. I think the average vehicle, the average vehicle on the roads today is like 14 years old.
Good Lord!
So 8 years is that's like half its life.
That's crazy. Now, and just another subject, and you've talked to me about this as well, and I've tried to translate it to my kids as well. I'm big, and a lot of people aren't. A lot of people argue with me over this or whatever. May even do you, especially since you're in finance. But the warranty. If you come in and you buy a 2016, 80 or 90,000 miles. I know Amanda bought that Lincoln from you guys. I think it only had 88,000 miles, but she won't pull off the lot. She won't take it to the sign at the top of the hill without a warranty. Whether it's 30 days through y'all or whether it's an extended warranty 2-3 years, because man, sometimes, and Caitlin just went through it, you buy a car that you're thinking, oh, that's going to last me forever. It's one thing if spark plugs need changed or oil needs changed, but something catastrophic happens. You're out. You don't have a choice but to either let the car go back junk it or you're just out of a car. So how important do you think it is to get the extended warranty? And y'all can give them different prices, what it covers, the whole 9 yards.
I think it's very important. We do claims every day. I think somebody is on a budget that can't have a repair for $9,000-$10,000.
Absolutely.
So sometimes in budget and $40 a month, is better for them.
Yeah, you thinking that $40 a month's hurting you now. You wait till you get a
Right.
call like we got a few months ago that says, hey, we need 9 G's. It'll make you go, dang, I should have. You ain't going to miss, more than likely, I'm not saying that money's easy, but more than likely you're not going to miss the $30 or $40 a month that it's going to take. And you can kind of cater to the one. When I bought the Range Rover from you guys, I made sure that I got a warranty, because I'm going to tell you, on those things, they're great vehicles, comfortable as can be. But one thing goes haywire in a Range Rover, and you doing a second mortgage on your house to get it paid for. But
Right.
when I drove out of here knowing that I had that warranty, it gave me a peace of mind to enjoy the vehicle, in case something does happen. So what does an average warranty use? Is there a way to say, it usually runs anywhere from $40, $50 a month up to a couple hundred?
Well, the problem with that is that we can actually tailor the warranty to your specific needs. Say you drive a lot of miles, well then we're going to want to put a lot of miles on the coverage.
Right.
You don't drive many miles, we want to shorten it. How long are you going to keep the vehicle? How long are you financing the vehicle? So the vehicle matters, the term matters, the mileage matters. How much do you? Maybe you just want the powertrain covered, or maybe,
Right.
or no, I want everything covered. There's so many different ways to tailor that extended service plan that's hard to really give an average price. But that's also the beauty of it. When you sit down with Trent goes over, how much do you drive? How long you plan on keeping this? What's your comfort level? And then we can tailor the service plan to meet those needs.
One thing that I've heard from people loving cars as much as I did, and I'll say this to the camera, a lot of times, those people, once they buy a car, not even saying from you guys, but I've had people for years after they buy a car, I went in there and they just tried to sell me everything under the sun, and it's gap insurance, and it's this and that. And I want to say, hey, look, that's on you. They're giving you an option to go, if this thing blows up, not that it will, and I know you do everything, to make sure that doesn't happen, but they're mechanical vehicles. Things happen that you can't control. If you could, you would. And I just think need to be open-minded when you come in and buy a used car to a warranty. And now somebody's going to say, hey, just trying to sell us on the warranty. I'm just letting you know, I think it's absolutely invaluable to buy a warranty, especially for, if you've got, couple of meal laying around, it might not bother you as much. But to the average person that they depend on this car to make their living, and I think it's important that you do that.
The tighter your budget, the more you need the warranty.
Absolutely, 100%. And a lot of people think differently. I can't afford it. It's almost like you can't afford not to do it. And I'd said earlier that we're going to keep Trent around for a little bit longer because some questions, tax questions, vehicles. I know we were talking about the big, beautiful bill, which is a little bit above my pay grade, but you can explain that and then throw it to Trent and let him kind of tell us what we're talking about here.
Well, love or hate the bill, one of the things it's done for folks is they are able to, like their home mortgage, they can deduct their car payment interest expense as well on their taxes. Now, you obviously you have to check with your accountant because there's some limitations to that. I think there's an income limitation, and you probably have to itemize your taxes. I'm not exactly sure on that part.
We'll put a disclaimer up on that.
The other thing is the vehicle has to be made in the United States.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yes, that's, of course, that's what the current administration is trying to do, is trying to make sure manufacturing's here in this country. So you have an income qualification and where the vehicle's made qualifications. But once those two qualifications are met, your interest expense, like your home mortgage expense, is tax deductible. And Trent probably has had some questions from folks in the office and has probably dealt with this a little bit more than I have. What have you heard and seen about the interest rate deduction?
Well, the customers, they're asking questions about it because they haven't, done it yet. You know, so obviously the bill just got, passed.
Yeah.
But like their question was like, if my interest is $12,000 over the loan, are they going to break the term up? If it's 72 months, he's going to buy each year. Like one amount is going to be that savings for them, and but I advise them, to talk to their accountant because, I can't, I don't
Probably
know.
not a direct answer.
Right.
For that, I mean, I'm sure wouldn't every case maybe be a little different.
Sure.
I would think.
Sure, and we have quite a bit of our vehicles qualify, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what the income?
So there is an income limitation.
Yes, it is. It's not designed to be, hey, I just bought a Maserati and
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
I want to take the income.
Luxury tax.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
I got it.
designed for hardworking people that
That deserve it.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Every
Yes.
little bit helps, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but just like your mortgage expense with your home, a lot of people, they've had that out there for a long time.
Right.
Now you can tax deduct your vehicle interest as well.
Well, that's something good to know. We're right down here at the bottom, right here. It says, "Talk to your accountant." That's what it says right here. You see that right there?
I do.
Because ain't near three of us right here got enough sense to be telling you about taxes and all that. But we do our best. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Trent. We appreciate it. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. Yell at us if you need anything. See you. Bye. If y'all see me out on the street, don't ask me how all this works, but I can give you a phone number that can